I thought love meant not getting hurt. But real love is being scared, and staying anyway. I was hiding from the rain when I met the man who would become my home. William didn't save me. He simply sat beside me, and stayed. There was silence between us. Small moments. And one jealousy that almost broke everything. I was afraid of being temporary. He was afraid to say the words out loud. I love you. Not loud, but forever. A quiet proposal. A wedding without excess. And a life where love doesn't shout, it breathes. 1 year later, he still whispers in my ear, I'm still falling in love with you. Because sometimes forever begins with one look, and the choice to stay.
Love Stories Max. Welcome to my channel. Enjoy watching, friends.
When he stayed. I always believed that love arrives quietly. It doesn't knock on the door or call your name out loud. It simply sits beside you and warms your hands. I didn't know it could come in the shape of William. With his slightly tired eyes, his calm smile, and a silence that carried more meaning than long conversations ever could. That evening, I was hiding from the rain in a small corner cafe. My hair clung to my neck, my fingers were cold, and my heart felt strangely empty, as if I had been waiting for something for a long time without knowing what it was. I sat by the window, warming my hands around a cup, watching people hurry past under their umbrellas, when the door chimed. He walked in, shook the rain from his shoulders, and paused for a moment, as if deciding whether to stay or disappear back into the storm. And somehow, he looked straight at me. Is this seat taken? He asked, pointing to the chair across from me. I nodded, and with that single nod, ours began. William spoke softly. He drank his coffee slowly. And when he smiled, it felt like something he allowed himself only rarely. We talked about small things, favorite books, cities we dreamed of escaping to, the smell of wet asphalt after rain. But between the words, there was something else. A pause that didn't feel awkward. A silence that felt safe. When we stepped outside, the rain had almost stopped. He opened his umbrella without a word and tilted it just enough so I wouldn't get wet. Our shoulders brushed. I felt warmth. Not from his body, but somewhere deeper. I didn't let myself fall in love right away. Life had taught me to be careful. But William was patient. He sent short messages. Did you eat today? I saw the sunset and thought of you. He brought me my favorite pastries even when he was in a hurry. He remembered how I liked my tea, with 2 spoons of honey. And he never interrupted when I spoke. And then, she appeared. Clara. Beautiful. Confident. Too close to him. I saw them together for the first time on the street. She touched his arm lightly, as if she had the right. I smiled, but something inside me tightened painfully. That night, I couldn't sleep. My thoughts kept circling, sharp and restless. I grew distant. My replies became shorter. I smiled, but not with my eyes. William noticed. Did I do something wrong? He asked one evening, looking at me openly, without defenses. I stayed silent. Then I told him everything. About the fear, the jealousy, about how afraid I was of being just temporary. He was quiet for a long moment. Then he took my hands. His palms were warm, steady, real. "Clara is my sister, Rosa," he said gently. "She's the only person who knows all my failures. But you know my hopes." I cried. From relief, from embarrassment, from realizing I had let fear speak louder than my heart. That night, he kissed me for the first time. Slowly, as if asking permission. And in that moment, I understood something simple and true. Love isn't the absence of fear. Love is someone holding your hand even when you're afraid. Now, when I think about our beginning, I smile. Because William didn't save me. He simply came and stayed. And I learned how to believe again. After that evening, everything between us grew quieter. Not colder, never colder. Quieter, in the way things become after confessions, when the words are already out, and feelings are finally allowed to breathe. We didn't rush. William held my hand like he was afraid of startling something fragile. And for the first time, I noticed I wasn't thinking about what comes next. I was simply okay with being. That day, we drove out of the city. No plan, no loud music, just the road, an open field, and a sky that felt too wide for all my old fears. We sat on the hood of the car, wrapped in his jacket. The wind tangled my hair, and William kept tucking a loose strand behind my ear, over and over, like it was his way of calming himself. "You've changed," he said softly. "No," I replied. "I just stopped hiding." He smiled. Not big, real. The sun was slowly setting, and the world felt gentle. Moments like that make you want to say something important, or stay silent in a way that feels like a confession. I leaned my shoulder against his and whispered, "I feel safe with you." He froze. I felt it instantly. William didn't look at me for a few seconds, like he was gathering courage. Then he turned, cupped my face in his hands, carefully, like I was something precious. "Rosa," he paused, swallowed. "I don't want to rush this. But I can't stay quiet anymore." My heart was pounding so loudly, I was sure he could hear it too. "I love you." He didn't say it loudly. There was no drama, just the truth. The kind you've been carrying inside for a while. I didn't answer right away. Not because I didn't know, but because I wanted to live inside that moment completely. I smiled through tears, rested my forehead against his, and said, "I love you too, William." Slowly, honestly, for as long as we choose each other. He exhaled, like he had finally allowed himself happiness. And he held me in a way that made me understand. This wasn't a promise. It was a choice. He didn't make a scene. No crowd, no speeches. Just one quiet evening, when the kitchen smelled like tea and honey, and soft snow was falling outside the window. William took my hand the way he always did, steady, gentle. I thought he wanted to say something. But he stayed silent longer than usual. Then he went down on one knee. "I can't promise to be perfect," he said. "But I can promise to stay. In joy, in silence, on the hard days." The box was small. The ring was simple. But his eyes held everything. I didn't say yes right away. I laughed through tears and whispered, "I'm already with you. I always have been." And he knew that meant yes. Our wedding felt like us. Light, warm, real, no extravagance. Fresh flowers, music that sounded like a heartbeat. When I walked toward him, the world disappeared. There was only William, and in his eyes, I saw home. "I choose you every day," he said in his vows. "Even when it's hard, even when I'm afraid. And I choose faith," I answered. "Faith in us." When he kissed me, I understood. This wasn't the end of the story. It was the beginning. A year has passed. We've learned how to be quiet together, to laugh at small things, to make peace faster than we get hurt. I wake up before him and watch him sleep. The familiar profile, the hand that reaches for me even in dreams. Our home smells like coffee and calm. Travel magnets cover the fridge. Certainty lives in my chest. Love didn't get louder. It got deeper. Sometimes he whispers in my ear, "I'm still falling in love with you." And I smile, thinking, this is what forever looks like.